Hello, welcome to episode 34 of the Yay for Business podcast, and welcome to June. How exciting is that? Today's episode is very timely. I want to talk to you about how to take 2 weeks off from your business this summer. Okay, so at the time that this podcast is coming out, we are in full swing of our Yay for 100K virtual conference. We're going to be having our VIP bonus day on Friday. And I just wanted to let you know that if you apply to work with us in Yay for 100K by today, like it needs to happen today, you will get invited to join us at the live bonus day on Friday. So great time to apply. The price for the program is going up on June 10th. So I do encourage you to apply as soon as possible so that we can get you enrolled before then. But that's not what I want to talk about today. The link for that is CourtneyShawl.com/apply. All right. So go get that done. If you want to work with us, like now's the time to get started so that we can get you rolling in the summer and we can get you launching your program hopefully this fall. Super exciting. Okay. So we're going to talk about taking 2 weeks off from your business. And you can tell I'm like jumping ahead of myself because I'm so excited about this topic. I've been wanting to talk about this for 6 months since we did this over the holidays, but not as intensely as we're going to do it this summer. And I also am just so excited to model this. I'm so excited to not be a workaholic entrepreneur, which I am not, and to show you and model for our clients. I'm going to talk a lot about this, like why I want to do this for our clients, even though it's in some ways like we're not there for our clients. Like that's the whole point, is that I think this is like the best possible thing that I can do as a role model in whatever capacity in this space. So in July, the second 2 weeks of July, we are shutting down the business entirely. So like nothing is happening. We aren't going to be doing customer service, like nothing in our program. There'll be a 2-week break so everyone can come back for coaching after that. That's 2 weeks that our clients encouraged to take time off if it works for them. If not, they'll have plenty of time to get work done and submit it to us before that and after that. And we just ask that they plan around it, which I think is a very reasonable request for us to model this. I saw this really funny meme that was going around. I think I've seen it before, but I saw it again this year recently. And I don't have it in front of me, but it was something like, autoresponders in the summer in Europe is like, I'll get back to you. I'm camping for the entire summer. I'll get back to you in September, right? Like, peace out. I'm not here. All right. Autoresponders in North America are like, I'm getting my appendix removed. And so I'll be out of the office for a couple of hours, but I'll get back to you later today. Like, it's just it's comical, except it's not, because people really do have these expectations that we're supposed to be constantly on responding to emails really quickly. And I will have none of it. Like, I am not about this at all. I remember when I lived in Paris for a couple of years, I remember the first year I was there in August, the entire city was shut down. It was amazing. I mean, first of all, the whole year, like grocery stores are closed on Sunday, which is so funny to me because that's usually the day that we do our grocery shopping in North America. Like that's the busiest day for groceries, but there's this actual day of rest, of nothing, of just chill out and like don't get something done today. And then in August, the entire city of Paris was shut down. I used to laugh at the tourists coming during that month because it's like such a sad time to visit Paris. Restaurants are, not all restaurants, but a lot of restaurants are closed. A lot of businesses are closed. Pharmacies. I remember I had to go to like 7 different pharmacies to find one that was open so I could get a medication because everybody is shutting down for the month to, go to the south of France or wherever they're going and take a month off. And I love this. I think this is so healthy. I think this is so amazing. And I think it really sucks that we don't do that in North America. And not only do we not do that, we do the opposite of that, which is these ridiculous expectations around how on we need to be. And it's even worse in our entrepreneurship culture of like hustle, hustle, hustle. I cannot tell you how many times over the holiday break, I saw entrepreneurs on Instagram, and I was off Instagram for the most part, but I saw a few entrepreneurs on Instagram like saying that they felt guilty taking time off over the holidays because they felt like they needed to get ahead to reach their goals in the new year. And I'm just like, are your goals really worth that? Like the fact that you can't slow down and just like enjoy a break, isn't that not alarming to you? Like, isn't that I guess isn't that not is a double negative, but that should be alarming. Like for me, and this is me obviously like projecting my core values onto other people, but hey, you decided to listen to my podcast, so that's what you're getting. That like enjoyment and fun and pleasure in life is like what it's about to me. And so this constant hustle that I need to grow and it's like, just, can we just not do that for a couple of weeks a year or like a month a year? Can we just not do that? And it turns out doing that is actually very unhealthy for our mental health. So if you're still with me, if you follow me, you're probably in alignment with this as well. Like I tend to attract people who think this way. I'm not a hustle person. I'm not a growth to make $8 trillion kind of person. And so I just think it's really important that we channel some of that European energy. For me, as a business owner who coaches other business owners, I simultaneously feel the pull to be available to our clients, especially because we do weekly calls with our clients and weekly critiques and all of that. And we have a pretty high touch program that's for 12 months. And I feel pulled to be like, oh, but like, how dare I shut down the business for 2 weeks and like not have calls for them for 2 weeks? I won't lie. I want to be very transparent with you. Like that comes up for me, but I have a much larger, more important calling to model healthy behavior to our clients. When I weigh the pros and cons, if I weigh me being available all the time and never taking a break to us modeling what it's like to plan and take off 2 weeks in the summer and 2 weeks in the winter, for example, it could look different for you. You could do a month at once, whatever you want to do. The modeling, what it looks like to take the time off is so much more inherently valuable to my clients than those 2 weeks of coaching would have been. They get so many other weeks of coaching. These 2 times of the year, so if a client works with us for a year, they're going to experience 2 times in the year where we are on break and they get to be on break and they get permission to do that. And it's just a counter example to everything else that's out there in the entrepreneurship space where it just never stops. So that to me is so much more valuable. Now fear pops up, like some of our clients are going to be mad that we're not available for those 2 weeks, even though that didn't happen last time. So what I would do with our clients, so if you have clients who are like worried or upset, here's what I would do, or what I will do in this situation if that occurs, is really dig into what that fear is for the client. So, I'm a coach, so, digging into it is sort of appropriate. If you're a web designer, you just need to organize your time around it and be like, I'm just not going to have any due dates during that time. Like that's a lot easier to do. But I would dig in with them and ask like, what is the fear? Is it like, for me, I'm like, is it going to be like, well, I thought I was getting weekly coaching and I'm not getting these 2 weeks. Like, well, you are getting weekly coaching and then you're getting 2 weeks of a break to not have to be on top of it. Like you're not going to miss out on getting everything done. What you're getting is an additional benefit of being shown how to take a break in your business, right? So we want to make sure and I'm going to give you a little bit more how-to on this. I'm kind of just exploring the fears and hesitations around this with you first. But we give our clients plenty of notice. And we will, once we do this the first time this summer, we'll have more of a system around it. So we'll be even more organized the next time. But we want to make sure that we're listening to any fears coming up for our clients if they pop up, but that it's not like, oh, people are going to be upset, so I need to do this for them. That's people pleasing. I don't do that. There's nothing about me that does that. And no one who works with me would expect me to do that. But a lot of people I know and a lot of people I work with and a lot of our clients, it's like the second a client is upset, they want to bend over backwards for that client versus like explaining, what's going on. So that's what we would do. Again, like I said, the benefits of modeling this far outweigh the costs or the temporary discomfort. And I believe that's what being a leader is. I believe that this is leadership. So that is the decision I'm making. Our clients want to be able to take vacations too. So it makes no sense for me to model not that. That's not going to show them anything, right? That's not helpful. So I want to talk about the holiday break we took over 2020, 2021 holiday break for Christmas and New Year's or, whatever. What happened there was we did sort of shut down for those 2 weeks. And that's something I've done in the past, but the team was different this time. So we had a couple of contractors who were regular contractors. So our admin assistant and our marketing assistant who work with us all the time, they asked if they could have hours over the break. And I didn't want to say no because I thought, well, who am I to tell them like they can't like check customer service? Like if they want the hours, they can have the hours. Like I'm not going to enforce my values on them, right? Like I don't like telling people what to do. So I didn't want to enforce that on them. So what ended up happening is there were two people in this case and they both said to me, you know, I'd love to have the option to work, but not have to work. And I was like, okay, that's fair. Like if that's what you want, like I'm amenable to that. Like that's fine. So here's some things that you can do over the holiday break. And then what's really interesting is that when we came back from the holiday break, neither of them had worked, yet both of them felt stressed the entire break like they should have been working. They weren't able to totally turn off because there was the option to work. And so what I realized is I failed as a leader. And when I say fail, I don't mean like, oh my God, I failed, I'm awful. It's just I needed to be the leader to say, no, it is important that you take a break. Because what I realized is people don't naturally want to take breaks. They have this, I do, I'm a weirdo, I'm a freak, but people in general have this feeling like they always have to be filling up the time with something or like, well, I'd like to work if I can, or like, it's the same thing where like people take their laptops on vacation with them and then they never open them, but they take them with them anyway. It's like, just leave the laptop at home. Then it's not taunting you the whole time. We actually, in February 2020, right before COVID hit, I was actually on a girls trip. One of my girlfriends actually is on my team and she brought her laptop with her and we actually had to lock her laptop in the safe in the hotel room because she wouldn't stop working when she had a migraine. So we literally had to take it from her. So many people struggle with this. And so I realized as a leader that I need to make it an absolute boundary to assist that of like, I realize it can be like, oh, but like, what if I want to work? It's like, no, it's important that everybody takes time off. And you'll see that once you take the time off. And this is what happened is after the break, our marketing assistant told me, she said, I don't think I've taken like a break like that or a vacation like in my adult life. I just didn't even realize it until I did. And I thought that's the power of this. It's scary going into a break like that. It's scary going, oh, I'm not going to have coaching during those 2 weeks. Or it's scary thinking, oh, like, what's going to happen? Like, what if I don't get these things done? I need to get ahead. But what I always realize is in the middle of it and on the other side of it, I'm like, oh, that was what I needed. Now I'm rejuvenated. Now I have the energy to go through another 6 months. Now I have new inspiration, new creativity. I feel human again. I feel connected. I feel good. So that's what happened in the holidays, the holiday period last year. And that's what made us make this decision of we're going to do this not just in the holidays, but we're also going to do it in July. So we have every 6 months have a break. So it works out something like that. So for us, it's going to be about this year, July 17th, which I think is a Saturday, until I think August 3rd. In Canada, in BC, there's a holiday on the first Monday of August. So we will also have that day off. It's a stat holiday for us, but we're going to be taking those 2 days off 100%. No one is allowed to work. Our society has such an unhealthy relationship with work. I think it is unregulated capitalism gone crazy, and I refuse to participate in that. We expect people to be on all the time. And also we'll get into that, like when we're paying people, we're like, well, I'm paying them, so they better do X, Y, or Z. Or like we feel like, well, they're paying me, so I need to be at their beck and call. No, you deserve to earn a good living for the work you do. And that's it. Someone buys a service from you. They don't own you. They get that service rendered. Okay. So really important that we start to own our own time and know that like this is where that boundary stuff comes in. If we don't address these fears around boundaries and time and clients and bending over backwards and people pleasing, then taking a 2-week break is going to be really hard, which means you're probably going to burn out, So it's so important that we get those foundations in place. So let's talk about planning a 2-week break from your business. So there's a few things that need to happen. We've got to work on like reorganizing the work. So let's say you have clients during that time, we've got to reorganize how we're going to do that work. So for us, it means for those 2 weeks, we're not doing coaching calls or critiques. So everyone's welcome to submit their critiques before or after, but not during, well, they can submit, actually, I think we're going to turn off the forms. So they won't even be able to submit during those 2 weeks. It'll just be like off time. We just really want to encourage people to take that time off. And so it's just the logistics of like, okay, what things do we need to do to like organize the delivery of our services or if you're doing a program, I would organize the launch of your program around your break, right? So that if you're delivering a program live, let's make sure we have a client who just did a launch. And what she did is she made sure she launched so that by the time she was done delivering the live program, she could then take a couple of months off over the summer and not be doing that. So I thought that was really smart. So the logistics, right? How do I need to organize myself? It's already like now is the time, right? Because we're already going into summer. So it's now's the time to really organize that. It's not just going to happen. You're not just going to happen to take a vacation this summer. So it's not as easy as like submitting a vacation request to your boss, right? You are the boss. So you need to organize the business around taking a break, which means what needs to get done during any given week and how do I reorganize that? So go off on your calendar right now, block off the weeks you want to take. What's already scheduled during that week? How can we move it? Block off your, Calendly calendar, any way people schedule things with you, block off those dates and let any clients know so that you can work around it. Maybe if you have a retainer service, you're going to tell them, I need to get the work done earlier that month or whatever it is or maybe it's just a month where you say, hey, I'm off that month. So like there's no bill that month, right? Because the service isn't going to be rendered. And then you can just plan your budgeting around that, right? You plan your revenue around that. So just knowing I need to take a month off each year. I want to take a month off in the summer. So in July, I won't have new revenue coming in. So I need to make sure that I make the revenue the rest of the year to supplement for that time that I'm taking off. So I'm just kind of spitballing some ideas of what this might look like for you. If you are really organized and you're really professional about how you plan this, your clients are going to be fine with it. They're going to respect it. They might actually really admire and envy it. The clients just want to make sure they're getting what they paid for and that your communication is clear. Just like anything, it's really on you to communicate. Tell them, if you have any questions for me, let me know. This is the first time I'm doing this, but it's really important. But I want to make sure as a client that you're feeling taken care of. Like that type of communication goes a really long way. The next thing I think you need to consider are like, other than client delivery, what are the regular sort of operations that happen in your business daily, weekly, whatever, monthly, that may need to either not happen while you're gone, they need to happen in advance, or they need to be postponed. So for us, some things like our customer service. So I would really like us to let everyone be totally off. So we're going to have 0 customer service for 2 weeks, which means like we are going to accumulate a lot of email during that time. It also means we need to set up a very clear autoresponder during that time that, if you have an issue, like it will get solved in August. And I'm really going to channel that European thing of like, people might be like, oh, how dare they? And it's like, okay, well, that's on you. Like we are a small business. We're shutting down for 2 weeks. Restaurants, people do it all the time. Like there are no emergencies in online business. That's one of our mottos. There are no emergencies in online business. I had to look for 7 pharmacies in Paris to find one for medication. There's nothing I do in my business that is more important than someone getting their medication. So, let's say it's like I'm missing access to a program or something. It's like, we'll fix it in 2 weeks. It will get fixed in 2 weeks. So that just needs to be communicated and people will have to work around it. And that I think is empowering to people. It's rather than enabling everyone to need you all the time, it's empowering to set those boundaries. So we're just doing it at a new level. Client applications. So let's say you get applications for clients. We get applications for Yay for 100K. So we're going to put a note on our application page. We usually have some kind of banner at the top that has some kind of announcement. We'll put an announcement that says, feel free to apply. We're on summer break. We will be processing applications the week of August 3rd, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So we'll still allow people to apply during that time, but we won't get back to those applications until that week, and we'll communicate that on the page. We'll also make sure that the autoresponder email they get after they apply also has a note about this. So that's really clear to anyone who's applying to work with us. Public communication. So I think we'll want to be really clear on our social media platforms, and our emails to our list, that even put on the website, that is really clear to everyone we're not available during this time. We'll have an autoresponder go out from our customer service email so that it's nobody's like, what the heck is going on? That it's really clear what we're doing. And we realize that not a lot of online businesses do this. So it might seem strange and unusual at first. But again, I'm not afraid to be a trailblazer here. I'm not afraid to do something outside of the box. I can model it so that it becomes normal so that everyone else feels comfortable doing it too. So that's just really, you just need to consider all the logistics. The final thing I just want to say here is, again, it's just the cultural element here about this idea that people need to respond to emails right away, etc., is so ridiculous. It amazes me how many times we get emails from people on the weekend. Like we'll get an email from someone on like a Saturday morning and they get the autoresponder saying, these are our business hours. Please don't send us more emails. Like you have a ticket created. We will get back to you in our business hours. And how many people will then email us back on Sunday being like, what the heck? I don't have a response yet. It baffles me that that's the culture we live in, but I'm not going to bend over backwards to it. Those people who have that kind of neediness of like needing a response right away, I understand that they're feeling anxious and maybe they bought something but it's also a red flag, right? It's a red flag if somebody's not respecting your boundaries. So, and a lot of times those same people, let's say they enrolled in a program and then they end up being a little bit problematic in the program as well. So, I love figuring out these red flags in advance. There are no emergencies in online business. Again, make that your motto. That's one of our mottos. I don't have a hustle culture. I do not believe in hustle culture. I don't participate in it. There is nothing that can't wait. We care deeply about our clients. In fact, we pride ourselves in having some of the best high-touch client care of any program out there. We prioritize like engaging with our clients, not letting them fall off. We reach out and contact clients who are like maybe not participating as much and things like that. We are so obsessed with that. But we are also a small team of human beings that need and deserve to take time off just like our clients do. And so we want to make sure that we're modeling this and doing something much healthier than I think is happening currently in our society. So I invite you to do something. Maybe 2 weeks is a lot, but I invite you to plan a week off this summer. Rejuvenate your soul. After the time we've had, just so much grace and compassion for yourself, and let yourself off the hook and know that there is nothing wrong with you wanting time and space. Like I said, even during a normal week, I'm not busy, but I'm not available. I might be lounging, but that doesn't mean I'm available for a meeting or a call or something, right? So you deserve to rest and do nothing. That is an absolute human need. And so I just really wanted to present that because I just don't think this message is being shared enough in our space. I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. Let me know if you are planning on taking a break this summer, what questions you have about implementing that. And I'd love to see what you do for your holiday. Yay! Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you love today's content and are ready to finally start making a full-time income from your business this year, make sure to get on the wait list for my program, Yay for Clients, over at yayforclients.com, and you'll be notified the next time enrollment is open. Or if you're already booked with clients and you want to learn how you can turn your signature service into a signature program and add 100K of revenue to your bottom line, come apply to my group coaching program, Yay for 100K, over at CourtneyShaw.com/apply. Thanks again and have an awesome day.